your Two Dads show. Ooh. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Tomorrow, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We ask the big questions like Diddy or Diddy Not here on Your Two Dads. This is rumble.com/JJW, youtube.com/your_2dads. I think something like that. I don't know. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the show. We meet here Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning, more or less. We drink coffee and we talk about the day's news, culture, politics, the big things you need to know. But more important than any of that, we start the day by taking a deep breath. Let all of yesterday's problems just fall off. Take a deep breath in. Today's going to be the best day ever. It is going to be the best day ever. You're gonna get so much done. You're going to have such a good day.
That way because we've had sound problems and I couldn't hear JJ and you turned it up and now you're too damn loud because
you made me do this
before the show. Before the show, you talk like everyone.
It's not my fault.
You talk like this.
Low hanging
fruit. When you get on the show, you talk like this.
Ricochet, low hanging fruit title. Yes, sir.
Turn your volume down, or I'm not going to be able to do this whole show with you.
You for real did this to me, dude. Like it was fine before.
You have something that takes control of your volume and messes with it. That's a little better, but it's still that's fine. That's fine.
Here,
Go.
85.
You're good.
Fine.
That's lower than it was before. Jesus.
You
like the title though. Come on. JJ doesn't know anything about the topic.
I don't know anything about Sean. Like let me tell you everything that I know as a kid from the 90s. I'm going to tell you right now, Deacon, everything that I know about Sean, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Combs.
Okay.
He was a rapper, and he had a fat buddy that died. And I don't know his name. Biggie Smalls. That's it. I got it.
This is cute. Keep going.
I passed. No, I passed the test.
Keep going.
That's it. I don't know. Cute. No, I don't know. I really don't know anything about. I don't know. I don't listen to his music. I don't know anything about him, and I don't know anything about. Yeah, and I don't know anything about his case other than this. I do not trust the government. So just because the government shows up and raids somebody, like 99 times out of 100, it's like, oh, they did something bad. We can draw conclusions, except sometimes it's Mar-a-Lago and it's baloney, or sometimes it's raiding James O'Keefe to steal Ashley Biden's diary back. So sometimes it's a big raid is just theater. So
okay, now that you have speculated on all this shit that you just admitted that you have no clue about,
no clue,
no idea, and then you just invented all this stuff, would you like to know what's actually going on?
Tell me what you know or what you think you know, because I don't know what you even know.
First and foremost, for people that may not know who I am, I have been in radio for 29 years in May. I am a music file. I study American music history and music history for fun. I like to look this stuff up. It's very interesting to me. And I remember all of this shit for some reason. I can't remember people's birthdays, but I can tell you who was in a band in 1942 and where they played. All right. I just remember that shit. So anyway, I have argued for years and I have said when the topic has come up that Puff Daddy had Biggie Smalls killed. And people are like, oh, why do you say that? And I'm like, because there is one person that took control after Biggie Smalls died and became Puff Daddy. Sean Combs was the background guy for Notorious B.I.G. that would go, yeah, yeah, that's right. He was that guy. When Biggie died, he became. Why did somebody who was 20-something years old, who had worked in a freaking record company, if you look at his background, you're like, how did he get this position of power so quickly? If you look at his background, he should not have taken this humongous leap to how much power he had so quickly. And I always joked, he had Biggie Smalls killed. He's the one that profited the most since. Did you know that he has been profiting off Notorious B.I.G.'s name longer than Notorious B.I.G. was alive?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, now I'm hearing me through you. So this is Restream.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gotta
it's
be
through you. I
Restream.
don't know.
Anyway,
I mean, like they
so
were only,
the story,
it was like 5 years, 10 years that they were like, making music, and then
it wasn't
Biggie
long.
died, and then yeah, it wasn't that long.
And if you want to get into why Biggie died, I don't think you had him killed or anything like that. But that is a rabbit hole that we could go down if you wanted to. But that's a left turn right here into talking about something else. This is, since he got all of this power, Biggie or P. Diddy always had these white parties, all these white parties, where everyone would come dressed in pure white, and it was the white parties, and they always had pictures, and he's done this for years, and it's his infamous little white parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Supposedly Sean Combs is basically like an Epstein. This is what they've said.
Okay.
That
All
he
right.
would throw these parties, and he would get incriminating evidence on party goers, and then to be able to influence those party goers now. And that's what they said that he did for a long time, because that's why he has so much power and whatnot. So this has been brought up here recently quite a bit in the past 2 months, because me and Ashley's talked about it several times. And then you get all that crap that happened yesterday. So did you want to go through the timeline on what happened yesterday?
So I have the story about Diddy saying that this was an excessive use of force. They raided 2 of his properties, and he took I think he was, I don't know if he was in the airport while it was while they was getting raided or something like that, but his private jet flew down to the Caribbean somewhere. And but I mean, look, I'm not defending the guy. I am only saying I don't know. We all don't know anything. And the last thing you should do is be like, oh, the government looks like they're going after this guy. He must be guilty. That's the innocent until proven guilty, and the government's always lying. You should always assume.
I agree with you, but I would like for you to take someone who studies music for 30 years. I have been on the radio for 30 years. I would consider myself a fucking expert. Because you consider people experts at other things with like, so, I study this stuff. I had a book in college. It was called the Encyclopedia of Rock and Roll, and it was about this thick, that I would read for fun. I would get, and it would have entries. It was like a Wikipedia in a book that I would read for fun. And I had this book for like a year that I would read for fun. So I took this class in college called the History and Sociology of Rock Music, and that was the textbook. I already read it. And already read it. So anyway, as someone that is an expert in music, I don't trust him.
Now, it very well may be this could be like an Epstein dude, where he's sex trafficking and blackmailing people and all of that.
Very well may be.
I don't hold him in any high regard, but I'm just intensely skeptical of everything.
But I have seen and I have heard stories throughout the years that now all kind of make the painting kind of make sense. You're seeing these little stories up close over the years, and slowly as the years go by, you back away, and it's like a fucking Monet painting. You're like, oh, that's not a blob, that's a freaking painting.
I don't pay any attention to him over the years. I remember from the 90s, him and Biggie Smalls having a music video. I remember, I think, watching maybe like a documentary about them starting off as like rapping on the streets or whatever.
Well,
and
if you
doing
get
street
into, if you want to get a TLDR real quick, they were on the East Coast, and then at the time you had the
whole
rappers on the
conflict,
West
East-West
Coast.
rap.
And if you want to delve really deep into that, you will see how that was politically designed by the government to I know I'm sounding weird here, but just stay with me for a second.
All right.
The early 90s music was influenced by the government, FBI, CIA, or whatnot. They influenced the record executives to push gangster rap and to push up this gangster rap and to start this imaginary East-West feud and to start these feuds. It goes really deep. I've watched a lot of industry executives talk about this.
If you're selling me on the idea that industry executives ginned up this fake controversy to sell records, I'd be like, yeah, I believe that.
That's what it is, basically. Long story short,
if you're trying to sell me the idea that the government tricked the record executives into making money, I'm like,
no, the government didn't trick the record executives. That wasn't the government. The government didn't care about money. That was the record executives. You'll make a lot of money. What we want to do is to create strife and conflict. It goes deep.
I'm not gonna put it past them.
But it goes really deep. And once I listen to this, it makes sense. There's been a lot of old record executives that are now on podcasts, and they just talk about it. And it's not just like one or two, it's like several of them.
I would totally believe that there was artificial strife in order to generate publicity in order to sell records.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I would totally believe that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The idea, the notion that P. Diddy maybe had something to do with the demise of Biggie Smalls, that doesn't feel truthy to me. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying it doesn't feel truthy, which is a different
I don't know about that. I never said that. I always said that he was the one that profited the most.
Well, he certainly has done well for himself, for sure. Let's just cover the story real quick.
Has he though? Let me fix that sentence for you. He certainly has earned a lot of money for himself.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
he certainly has profited.
Yeah,
off of that. But you know what? Like, is that a problem? Like, if you're okay, Deke, hold on. No, I'm gonna go back. We're just gonna go back to just story time.
Okay,
Deke, if you and I turn to this show into something amazing, and you have all the keys to the show, and then it started making money, it doesn't. But if it did, and then I croaked, and you kept doing the show, and you made even more money, would I hold that against you?
You've got the story wrong.
I have the
That's not how the beginning happened.
Okay.
But no, in that scenario, no.
Okay. See, so like, I don't know, but okay. Anyway,
that's okay. So let me say this. That's what they wanted everyone to look at it like, is what you are describing, is what everybody sees it. And that's
how I see it.
And it worked.
Yeah.
But if you are like me and have delved a little deeper and are interested in the subjects and actually look into it, you kind of start changing your mind to where I think you fed me a line of bullshit.
You know what, folks? Right over here on Discord, if you click the link or in the description below, you can go to our Discord server where we have a Dekespiracy Theory channel, and you guys can just go wild. I have no idea about any of this.
I just posted something in the Dekespiracy channel. You
yeah,
see what I posted?
there's some stuff over there. All right, Sean Diddy Combs rips excessive military-level Homeland Security raids as an unprecedented ambush. Sean P. Diddy Combs' lawyer said Tuesday that the searches of the rapper's Los Angeles and Miami properties by federal authorities in a sex trafficking investigation were a gross use of military-level force, and that Combs is innocent and will continue to fight to clear his name.
He is innocent.
It's the first until proven guilty. This is America. Stop laughing.
Yeah, because that's how we do things here. You're innocent until proven guilty. That is a beautiful lie that we all have believed since children.
Yesterday was
guilty. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yesterday there was a gross overuse of military level force that warrants as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences, there was no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated.
So I'm going to take Sean P. Diddy's word that there was no use, or there's no use. They wouldn't have just been like, let's go raid P. Diddy freaking Sean Combs, this guy who's got probably $1 billion worth of assets and has more freaking power than a lot of freaking people. Let's just go raid his house for no freaking reason. No,
it's not. No, okay, no, they had a search warrant. But like they had a search warrant, they could have showed up with like a couple sheriffs or cops or whatever and been like, we have a search warrant, we're going to search your premises. And then
with a couple of cops. And have you ever look? Let me explain something to you.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't get.
I was an explorer. I was a sheriff's office explorer from the time I was 14 until I was 17. When you're 16 and you get your license, you get to ride with the sheriffs. Okay, I rode with the sheriffs one time as he was. I rode with the sheriffs and they were serving warrants one time, and they were just like, they weren't big warrants. I was able to go along with them, and shit kind of went down a little bit. So this was at a freaking trailer. All right. P. Diddy don't live in a trailer. If I'm going to go into a 100,000 square foot property, I'm going to have the SWAT team with me. I'm going to have a few buddies other than Jethro and Bubba.
Okay, but like, even if he has security guards, and he does, and
like, he
okay,
does, that are armed.
Yeah, but look, you show these guys who are like, hey, security guys, this is a search warrant. Do you want to go to jail? I mean, like, they're not going to shoot out with the cops.
Understand how the real people do that? That the bad guy or the people are just like, oh, okay, come on in. Do you understand how animosity and standoffishness works? That's a new word that I just invented. Standoffish.
If you have a legal search warrant, then you can show up and all the security guys will be like, you can't go in. And they'll be like, there's a search warrant. So you can either get out of the way or you're going to jail. And then the security guys will be like,
okay,
boss, they got a warrant. I mean,
I'll take your word for it. That's what you believe. I believe differently. I didn't do anything wrong.
Am I right? David knows. David knows. I don't know. I want to know what David knows. David wants to put a poll up in the thing, so I need to figure out how to give Dave more powers. I don't know how to do that, Dave. Like at this very second. I think I do. Managing moderators, standard moderate. I don't know how to do that right now, Dave. Okay. So you posted this tweet from Chuck Calesto. Chuck Calesto is a social media strategist, and I guess he does news. You posted this tweet regarding this whole story. Breaking now, reports emerging that a private jet owned by P. Diddy Combs has left the United States and possibly headed to a country with no extradition agreements. Developing, DHS has conducted multiple raids on Combs' homes as part of a sex trafficking probe. The plane's trajectory seemed headed towards Cape Verde, a country with no extradition agreement with the United States.
Can I just say this too? Can I add this? Because I don't think you realize this, and it's I do.
Okay.
I have heard these sex trafficking story crap about P. Diddy, Epsteinish type crap for a few years now. So when this is just now coming out, this is not like, this is not new news to me. I've heard, this is why I kept posting that stuff, because I was like, I've heard this for years from people saying that he does this. I've heard it for years. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, we'll see.
Well, like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with this airplane story, but okay, let me proffer a reasonable explanation. You're getting raided by the government. You have some valuable assets. You do not want all of the government to just seize all of your assets because you.
Okay, I see where you're going. I don't want to waste any more time in our short show for freaking P. Diddy. Right. We're not going to agree on this. We're just going to have to wait until it's over with.
Yeah, right.
I'm just telling you what I know and what I've seen in the past as a music person.
Yeah. Okay. Look, if anybody's going to get to the truth of this, it's going to be James O'Keefe. So right now, James O'Keefe is asking for tips on this whole thing. So if P. Diddy did it, the government is bamboozled. They'll never figure it out. But James O'Keefe will. James O'Keefe will end up probably in a dress being invited to the party and will get them on tape. He will get them on tape.
What you need to be doing is watching what the government's doing and what laws they're passing right now, because this is a nice little smoke screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we just spent $1 trillion. And at least we got the pride flag off of embassies, 20 minutes. Yeah, all right. Hey, did you know, I'm sure you know, because we talk about politics all the time. Ronna McDaniel, who did a tremendous job of being a terrible chairperson of the RNC for years, stepped down earlier this month when Donald Trump became the presumptive nominee by destroying everybody else in the primary election. Since then, he's nominated, and the RNC has adopted a new co-chair, two co-chairs, one of which is Laura Trump. Ronna McDaniel stepped down from the job like March 8th or so. But she got a sweet gig as a political analyst at NBC News. And then 2 days later, she was fired. So Ronna McDaniel is now not working at NBC News as a political analyst. Some of the do you recognize this woman? I'm sure you know the name. Yeah,
no,
right.
I don't know the name or recognize her.
Yeah. So she used to be a person of some influence in the Republican Party, and now she's on the outs with not only Donald Trump, but the rest of the Republicans, because she's a loser. She lost. She's a loser. She's a loser. She got fired by NBC News. Let's see. 50 Cent predicts that Donald Trump is going to be president, which, huge prediction here. In a post shared to X on Thursday morning, rapper 50 Cent predicted that Donald Trump will be president again. The world's almost over. So what are we worried about? Whoever made this is effed up. I think Trump's going to be president again, but I'm not going to say that. So it looks like there was, I don't know, this kind of looks like a fake AI video. Let's see what this is.
Puffy, you stupid ass nigga. I told you stop.
Whoa, bro. No, don't. 50 Cent, why did you do
that? Is a fake. I was in a daze. That's the same look.
Yeah, it's parrot AI. I can't
parrot
believe
AI. I should have told you that's what comes up, is that right there.
All right. Well, so let's change topics a little bit, but I still got some more Trump stuff to talk about. I saw this last night, and I immediately had two contradictory reactions. Deacon, Trump partners with Lee Greenwood to sell God Bless the USA Bibles. And I was like, Trump's going to sell Bibles? This guy can make money doing anything. All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book. Donald Trump said, okay, all right. I don't know who Lee Greenwood. You know who Lee Greenwood is, country music singer.
Yeah, God Bless the USA.
All right, so these God Bless the USA Bibles are going to have the text of the Bible, and they're going to have the copy of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Pledge of Allegiance, and handwritten chorus to God Bless the USA, all inside the Bible. Inside the God Bless the USA Bible. It's like a starter pack for creating your own country. It's great. Okay.
No, I'm gonna put Dave's. I'm gonna say no comment. I'm gonna roll my eyes at this and say no comment.
Oh, hey Dave, over on Discord, send me your YouTube ID or your YouTube link, or whatever your ID is on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. We'll do this. Yeah, we'll do this. We're gonna we only got a few minutes left, guys. Let's talk about the bridge collapse yesterday. We showed the video of the bridge collapse yesterday. Horrible. Since then, this is the story that Dave has comments about. I guess the six people missing, and they called off the search yesterday. So 6 people presumed dead, I believe. But there is this kind of like bright, like one little kind of like good thing about this. Not good, but is one little kind of positive thing about this story. There was a construction worker who stopped traffic before the bridge collapsed. So right before I guess he could see this coming, he was like stopping traffic going onto the bridge, and he slowed down the number of people that were on the bridge, meaning that he saved lives. So, I mean, this is like in the kind of wake of tragedy, these are the kind of moments where you're like, see good citizens do a good thing and protect people. As of Tuesday afternoon, 6 construction workers were unaccounted for in the aftermath of the collapse that occurred in the early hours of the morning. In a press conference, Governor Wes Moore said the workers on the bridge halted traffic right before the impact. 6 workers are on the bridge are still missing, according to the Associated Press. They saved lives in a very, very heroic way. They were repairing potholes on the bridge when the collapse took place. So, I mean, it was late in the morning there, or early in the morning. It wouldn't have been a lot of traffic, but even that there was any at all.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories coming up on this, and some whacked out ones, but there are some that that are a little concerning to me. You know, the number one that I brought up yesterday was I thought that bridge was like, what the crap? How can one freaking ship hit one pylon like that and the whole thing fall down like that?
I think it was in the middle. It was the main one.
Okay.
It was like the center beam.
But still, that's man, that's a little concerning. Number 2 was, have you seen the video with the ship actually lost power? The ship lost power, and then it regained power, and it looks like black smoke started pouring out of the ship when it regained power. And then the ship lost power again, and then it regained power at the last minute before it hit the pylon. One of the guys, a video that I watched, one of the guys was like, I'm a Coast Guard, blah, 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 blah. Where are the tugboats? Where are the blah, blah, blah boats? Where are the blah, blah, blah boats? It's like, where were they?
Right.
And I was like, okay, that's stuff that I don't know, that's supposed to. So I don't know engineering or anything. All I'm saying is that if a boat like that, because I read where at least barges and stuff hit our bridges around here all the time, and they have to come and check and close it down and check and whatnot and reopen it. But if something like that's it's just concerning from someone that does not know the first thing about engineering in an educated fashion. You know, I know common sense, but that it's just concerning. I'd like to have an engineer tell me, hey, that happened because of this, and it's not supposed to do this, and blah 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 blah, to make me feel. I read
this other story about this yesterday, and like, yeah, I guess some people are out there floating conspiracy, because
they are. There was one that was like the Obama movie showed in this, and in the Obama movie it said something about lion, and it was headed to Sri Lanka, and on the flag of Sri Lanka is the lion. I'm like, dude, you are stretching. You're stretching.
Humans, you like to make stories. You love to make narratives where you can find a bad guy in there, a mysterious bad guy. The reality is there was probably undertrained people on this ship. The ship was probably in poor repair. It's been around for a long, long time. It wasn't handled very well, and people were not as careful as they needed to be.
The thing that concerns me though is that, what if it was like a hacker trying to do something to see what they done? They brought down this bridge. This bridge has basically the collapse of this bridge has closed off the port of Baltimore.
Yes.
So all of these things that are in the port are stuck, and nothing can come into the port. So now look at this from a terroristic standpoint.
Yeah.
If we were to hack a barge to do this, or send a barge into this to do this, to shut this, to stop this, what's the impact of the Baltimore area going to be?
It's not just the Baltimore area. This is going to affect this.
Everywhere through there. That's right.
It's going to happen to affect. So first of all, there's now bridge debris all along the river bottom, so ships cannot get in and out safely at all.
They have to bring in. We just demolished a bridge not long over here, and I was reading about it every day, and I didn't know this. They took like a week because they have to bring in these special barges with cranes and stuff to get all of the debris out of the freaking water. They go down there and get it all out of the water.
So look at this. So a former Pentagon official had this to say: if nothing else, the traffic's going to be horrendous around Baltimore. A lot of material that goes in and out of that port's is gonna affect a lot of people. So it's also a military port. So there's military assets that cannot get out and operate. There's naval logistics ships that cannot get in and out and operate. And it's gonna and there's like marketing goods. I mean, like transportation of goods. This taking out this bridge and this port is going to affect a whole region, not just Baltimore. It's going to affect a whole area, like you're saying. And I honestly, ever since like ever since 2001, right? Like we all, or 2000, September 11th, 2000. Was it 2000 or 2001? We all kind of like became aware that buildings can be used as weapons by terrorists. But when have any of us ever thought like, oh, a malicious terrorist actor could use a boat or a bridge as a weapon? We saw them take out we saw Ukraine, or probably the US, I don't know, take out that bridge for Russia to cross into Crimea. It caused a real big headache. So the bridges are definitely, and there's back in World War II, bridges are definitely logistical targets, but we haven't seen something like this. And I'm not saying this was an attack. I think this was just an accident or negligence. But but it leaves the door open that a bad actor can use this as an attack, and it's really going to be a problem.
And if it was, if I'm just looking at it from the devil's advocate, I would be like, let's do this and see what happens. We've got a big plan coming up in 2030. Let's plan it out. So in 2024, let's hit these cities that have this to see how they react for the 6 months or 9 months and see how it goes. I'm just being a storyteller, Andy, over here. Okay. This is how my brain works. And I always thought as a kid, if I can think of it, then the bad guys have already thought of it. If I can come up with the idea, then they can come up with the idea too.
Well, okay. All right. So that's that's kind of all the stories I had collected. There was a Supreme Court thing. Like there's a former justice that run his mouth selling a book. Nobody really cares. Okay. He's got phone calls this morning. Dave, I really wish. Okay, so I found your YouTube channel, Dave. So you're the one that has that picture. So but that picture's not on the list on my dealy do over here. I thought you were already a moderator. Specific channels who can redirect to my content. I don't know what that means. Let's see. I don't want to give some other David the doors. It's the cell towers, transportation. You're right. Yeah. Look, taking out infrastructure are very soft targets in the United States. We have little to no redundancy. Electricity. You knock out like an energy station, and you could take out like huge amounts of area. It was in the early 2000s, I think, that there was like a giant brownout or blackout on the entire eastern seaboard. So a lot of our infrastructure is very, very, very poorly defended. And yeah, I just think that this was just like negligence more than anything. Deke's still on the radio. Okay, I can figure this out. This is something that I can figure out. If I go to, I can't figure this out. I don't know how to fix this. All right, guys. It's an early show today. It's a short show today. Deke's got guests coming in to his office, and I've got to go see the dentist. So, Deke, do you want to do music?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Energy Grid and Texas Space Laser. Energy Grid and Texas Space Laser.
Well, before I had the phone call and stuff, I had some links. I had some stories that we could get into, I guess, if you wanted to, but we'll do that some other time.
We got maybe 5 more minutes.
These I would have to reread. Music. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I'm doing this NASCAR trivia giveaway thing at the bottom of each hour, and I'm having to do that in the middle of our show too. So, and then I have the other show coming up here in about 25 minutes.
Are they calling in and guessing NASCAR stuff? Or
yeah, we have tickets
questions?
that we're sent, and I'm not a big NASCAR person, but we have tickets that we're sending people down to Talladega for the Geico 500, and we take qualifiers at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then on Friday I draw for a winner, and then after we get 3 winners, we draw for a grand prize winner. So that's what I've been doing, and I've got all the trivia questions and fielding phone calls and doing all this.
So we have a very we have a very slight intersection here of interests. So one of the comics that I crowdfund, independent comics that I support is Cyberfrog. It's pretty great. And last month Ethan Van Sciver set up a campaign to feature Cody Dennison's stock car. Cody Dennison is a NASCAR driver, I guess. I don't know. And they wrapped it as a Cyberfrog car. So
really?
So that's coming up at the General Tire 200 Talladega Speedway. So I don't know if that's the same.
That's a race. See, what they have on race weekends is they have like a little race with some of the smaller drivers, and then they have the truck race, the big truck race, and then they have usually the big NASCAR Cup Series race with the big boys in the NASCAR cars. So he's probably it's the Geico 500 at Talladega is the big NASCAR Cup Series sprint race, but that's probably in one of if it's the whatever you said 200, it's a smaller race that they race.
It's a smaller race,
but that's cool. I mean, it's raced there at Talladega, and it's. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but I got buddies that are, and I've never been to one. And they always say, "Oh, if you go, you'll love it. Blah blah blah. You'll have fun." But I've watched it a couple of times, and it's cool. I don't have anything against it or the people that like it. Right. It's just not my thing. It's cool. I think it's cool, and it's cool that you like it, man. I don't. It's got cool. No, I mean, the public. It's got really cool roots. The history of the sport is really interesting. So yeah, it's cool. They were moonshiners.
I think it's neat.
Did you know that? It started from moonshiners running from cops.
Moonshiners, and they were running from cops, and then they decided, hey,
they would soup up their cars so much and add shocks and stuff because we didn't have pavement back then. It was all dirt roads. Pretty cool, actually. So they would add all that stuff, and they would soup up their cars in order to run from the police. And so they had these souped up cars, and so they still raced them. Unfortunately, do good, yes.
But 15 minutes or so can save you
a ton of money. All right, my person just pulled up out there, and it's a
all right. Joke time, quick jokes, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah,
quick joke time. Deke.
Yeah.
Who keeps the ocean clean?
I don't know.
The mermaid. Yes.
So I've got a coworker. I used to have this coworker that wears a lot of makeup. And so one day I was just really blunt with her, and I said, I think you're drawing your eyebrows too high. And she looked very surprised.
That's good. Yes. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. David, we'll figure out how to make you a super mod or whatever on the channel. And watch the outro. Skip the first verse. That's great.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us move facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tune in now to your Two Dads show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
The Two Dads is a horrible show. Michael and I don't care for it at all.
Michael.